Hello everybody, I'm Inspector Don Coleman, C-O-L-E-M-A-N, Calgary Police Service Major Crime Section. The Calgary Police Service continues to search for a missing girl and investigate the death of her mother. At approximately 8:30 p.m. on Monday, July 11th, 2016, police were called to a home in the 1000 block of Panamount Boulevard N.W. after family members of a female resident were unable to reach her. A woman in her 30s was found deceased in the home. The victim has been identified as Sara Baillie, 34, of Calgary. Bailey's death has been ruled a homicide, and the cause of death will not be released at this time. On Tuesday, July 12, 2016, an Amber Alert was issued for Bailey's daughter, Taliyah Leigh Marsman. The Amber Alert remains in effect. Police have obtained CCTV footage from Sunday, July 10, 2016, at approximately 5:30 p.m., which shows the victim and her daughter at the Dairy Queen restaurant located at 66 Sandarac Drive Northwest. Video footage also appears to show Bailey speaking with a family at the Dairy Queen. And police would like to identify this family. The photographs that we'll go through are of that and are for the purpose of clothing description that Taliyah had at the time. Witnesses in the community of Panorama noted that on Monday, July 11, 2016, at approximately 11:30 a.m., a girl matching Taliyah's description was seen with a stocky black male in the vicinity of where Bailey's vehicle was located, close to Panamount Boulevard Northwest. The girl was wearing red or pink boots with polka dots and had with them a reddish colored suitcase. Calgary Police have dedicated significant resources to the search for Taliyah and have received over 100 tips from the public. Police would like to thank the media and the public for their assistance in attempting to locate Taliyah, and anyone who believes they have seen Taliyah are asked to contact 911 immediately so we could act in a timely fashion. We've had some tips to Crime Stoppers of that nature, and there's a bit of a delay, so it's problematic. So anybody who has believes they have a sighting of Taliyah is asked to call 911. So the first picture is just one of another one of Taliyah for general description purposes. Photo one. This one shows Taliyah at the Dairy Queen on Sandarac Drive on Sunday, July 10th at approximately 5:30 p.m., which we believe prior to the 11:30 sighting on Monday was the last time potentially anybody might have had contact with him. Photo two shows Sara Baillie in the bottom of the photograph foreground walking into the Dairy Queen. She speaks with a woman in the background whose husband is at the till and a little boy wearing a blue shirt sitting at a nearby table. We would like to identify this family to speak with them, as it appears that Sara had a brief conversation, may have known that family, and they may have some information potentially. Photo three shows Sara talking to this family before leaving the restaurant. In particular, the gentleman in the red hat, and we believe the little boy. Photos 4, 5, and 6 show the transaction at the Dairy Queen. And photo 7 is Sara and Taliyah buying a birthday cake, we believe, at the same DQ on Saturday, July 9th. And I can answer any questions.
John, is there any lead whatsoever on the stocky black male who that might be?
We've been able to narrow our investigation, the focus of the investigation somewhat. We don't have anybody specifically identified yet in any role, but there is, we've been able to narrow the focus a little bit.
They have different outfits in some of the pictures. Can you talk about that? Is this 2 different times that day?
Yeah, so I believe this picture is from Saturday. They were there briefly, and then they were there again Sunday. So the one photo here is of Saturday. The rest are of Sunday.
So the pink is Saturday?
I believe the pink is Saturday. The rest is Sunday. The woman in the picture with the long black sleeves, we believe is Sara, and the other in this photo is part of the family with the fella in the red hat and the small boy. And Sara appears to have known them. When she come in, she waved, had a brief conversation on the way in, brief conversation on the way out. So we believe they may have known them in some capacity. So potentially being one of the last people to have seen them, we'd like to chat.
Can you talk? Sorry, can you talk more about this sighting in the neighborhood with the suitcase?
So part of the video canvassing efforts that we do on these files, there was some witnesses that observed, of course at the time they're not aware of the incident, but they observed what they believed to be a stocky black male and a small female that matches Taliyah's description, with the boots and the suitcase, leave the area where the car was. So we believe that is a good possibility of that's Taliyah and an unknown male. So we're chasing down leads on that.
Like walking, or did they get in a vehicle?
Walking away from we believe walking away from the victim's vehicle potentially.
Is Taliyah believed to still be in Calgary?
We have no information otherwise. We're open. Our minds are open to any possibility that she may be out of the city and out of the province, but we have no information that that's actually the case.
Are you confident that she's still going to be returned home alive?
We're hopeful that she's safe. We're going to remain hopeful that she's safe and that she's just with somebody that's trying to figure out what to do.
Is Taliyah's father still cooperating? Is he a suspect now or a person of interest?
He's still cooperating. We haven't labeled, like I said before, we haven't labeled anybody with specific roles in this. Everybody's considered involved or has information until something comes up that proves otherwise.
Have you been
Well,
able
make
to
the
track down
statement you
any
made
other
today.
people that she was in a relationship with? That Sara was in a relationship
We're not aware of that at this point. We have asked previously and continue to ask for any information in regards to that, of any relationships that she may have had that potentially family might not have been aware of.
When Taliyah was seen leaving with this male, did the neighbors say that she seemed stressed or was rushing, or that they knew each other?
Didn't say anything to that effect, and I don't know for sure that's Taliyah. It's a small girl that matches the description.
Do you have any photos with her wearing those clothes that would corroborate that description or anything? Like, did she have those kind of?
No, it's just the boots that were described as either red with white polka dots or pink with white polka dots, something to that, small boots, and a reddish colored suitcase.
Are you concerned 2 days in now? And often say that 24 hours is the true window, but are you concerned if this drags on, if this isn't going to end well? Or
Well, we're concerned right from the start. We are hopeful that Taliyah is safe. If the girl seen in Panorama with the boots and the suitcase is in fact Taliyah, the suitcase is a promising indication that whoever she's with has intentions of caring for her to some degree. We're hopeful that whoever does have her, like I said before, just maybe didn't realize the situation or is trying to figure out how to resolve it. Whoever that is needs to be aware that anytime children are harmed, that changes the game and takes things to a whole new level for everybody. Police, community, even other people in jail don't take kindly to that sort of thing. So we're hoping that wherever Taliyah is, that those people just return her safely to somebody.
Like, speaking about the homicide specifically, like, have you been able to determine what that would have been about at all? Are you getting any answers? I know it's all connected, but.
Yeah, well, we definitely believe it's all connected. The autopsy is completed today. We're waiting on results of that. There's some things that have been able to help us move the investigation forward, and every day there's going to be more that helps us move it forward. So we're still open and pursuing several investigative avenues.
What do you think of the statement the father released today?
He's been cooperative. He hasn't asked for our assistance with that. He's kind of doing his own thing with the media, so I don't really have a comment on that.
And have you been able to ascertain whether the father and the stocky black man and then the footage are the same person or not?
We're still trying to determine that.
I'm not sure if this was asked in a previous news conference, but were there any weapons recovered at the home?
The particulars of the scene's not something that we share. It's a fine line between providing information and jeopardizing the investigation, so.
Have you spoken with Taliyah's aunt, family?
We've spoken with a large amount of the family, which you've seen by the press the other day. We've spoken to the parents this morning, and they're incredibly upset for their daughter and incredibly upset about Taliyah.
Did they say anything when you brought up the report about potentially being seen with the suitcase? When that was brought up to them, did they say anything that seemed unusual that she would have a suitcase, or if this person was in fact Taliyah, did they see that as particularly unusual?
I don't know that their reaction. They've been advised of that by investigators, and I wasn't there, so I don't know what their reaction was.
Are you working with any other law enforcement agencies elsewhere?
Yeah, by virtue of the fact that these investigations, the information that's covered nationally, the Amber Alert is covered nationally, any external partners that we feel may be able to assist are all brought in the loop. Everybody's reached out to help who maybe wasn't contacted, so the outpouring of support both from the law enforcement community as well as the community of Calgary has been very positive.
Was Taliyah's father invited to speak at the news conference yesterday?
I don't know if he was invited or not. I don't know the details of that, to be honest.
Do we know if he's still in Calgary? Has he been asked to stay in Calgary?
He hasn't been asked to stay in Calgary. I believe he's still in Calgary though.
Is there any plan to expand the Amber Alert?
If information comes to light that would cause us to expand that, we would. There's specific criteria around Amber Alerts, provincially and nationwide, which we revisit daily to make sure that we're still meeting that criteria. So if information comes in that would cause the scope of the search to expand, then we would expand the Amber Alert accordingly.
When you said that in terms of the stocky black male that she was perhaps seen with, and you said you're kind of narrowing in on that part of the investigation of who that person might be, can you expand it all on that? Could that be a relative? Could that be a friend or somebody else? I mean, can you expand on that at all?
No, I can't actually. You're right. It could be anybody, and that's the challenge of trying to figure out information in these investigations. You get a witness account of something. You have to verify it's accurate, and once it's accurate, where it takes you, and it could be any of those things.
Have you been able to determine if she was the subject of any kind of threats recently?
Not specifically that we'd be able to discuss. There's obviously things in the investigation that lead us in certain directions, but not that we'd get into specifically.
Anything else? How did you guys get was it just a tip from the public that led you to the DQ?
No, it wasn't a tip from the public. It's just investigative strategies and good old-fashioned police work.
Just kind of going to all the businesses?
Not exactly.
Did you, when you guys were finding got the description of the young girl and the man, was there any video security footage from any of the homes that was given to you guys in the area?
We canvass video in all cases like this, so that's a continuing thing with every file. The trick is once you get that video, then you have to go through it all, and you often don't know what you're looking for until you know you're looking for it, so the video has to be reviewed sometimes multiple times. But that's all. It's time consuming, but it's all things that are being done.
How much have you guys received a lot of video footage in this from this neighborhood?
We have received some video. I think traditionally we get video around 1 out of every 10 homes. We seem to be able to get video from on an average, so we can continue today to look for more houses with video.
Do you guys have any vehicles or anything like that that people should be looking out for?
Not at this point.
So at this point, we can update it to the last time she was seen to 5:30 Sunday for sure. We know.
Yeah, for sure 5:30 Sunday, potentially 11:30 Monday if the witness account from Panorama is accurate.
Just for Taliyah though, but Sarah's, last time she was seen.
For Sara, last time that we are aware of is at the Dairy Queen on Sunday evening.
11:30 time period, does that fit well with time of death or anything like that?
Those aren't particulars we share publicly.